Is there any way to stop US-Israel war against Iran? If all sides reached a deal to start negotiations, could such a deal sustain, or could it actually be enforced? This question has become more relevant than ever as Mojtaba Khamenei, on Sunday, was selected as Iran's new supreme leader. His selection is one of the key elements that have led to speculations about a possible ceasefire, or even a permanent peace deal between all the warring sides. It is normal that this leadership transition in the system makes the outside world to wonder whether diplomacy might become easier. All of this is despite the fact that US President Donald Trump, on Monday, while announcing that the US was ahead of schedule and had already achieved tremendous success, told reporters that their operations could continue.
We go forward more determined than ever to achieve ultimate victory that will end this long-running danger once and for all. 47 years, it should have been done a long time ago.
In fact, Tuesday's strikes, according to Reuters, were the most widespread and intense since the start of the war, with a large number of fighter jets and bombers involved. At the same time, some residents of Tehran described the night as the most intense night of bombing since the start of the conflict. On Sunday, Iran's Assembly of Experts selected Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, as the new leader of the Islamic Republic. This is viewed as the beginning of a new era in Iran's leadership, but not necessarily a simpler one. While it is said that Khamenei had refused to be replaced by his son Mojtaba, and to making the Islamic Republic of Iran a constitutional Islamic monarchy, evidence shows the contrary. Many experts believe that Khamenei had been planning for decades to put his own son in his place. Mojtaba Khamenei is the second son of Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, who was killed on the first day of the current US and Israeli attacks against Iran. Born in 1969, he went to the front during the Iran-Iraq War as a soldier of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Returning from the war, he spent most of his life completing his religious seminary education. For Mojtaba, the war also carries a profound psychological and emotional dimension. In addition to his father, his mother, sister, niece, and son-in-law were also killed in the US and Israeli attack. This fact has grabbed the attention of Donald Trump too, as suggested by his first reaction after Iran formally announced Mojtaba Khamenei as the country's new supreme leader. For years, Mojtaba Khamenei's name was heard in the shadow of power. A mysterious figure behind the scenes of Iranian politics who was said to have influence in the circle close to the supreme leader and some security institutions. He is said to maintain ties with Iran-backed militant groups across the Middle East, especially Hezbollah in Lebanon. It seems strange that the third supreme leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran is someone who has never been seen delivering a public speech. On the other hand, not only does Mojtaba lack the religious charisma of his father, but he also lacks the minimum required experience for such a post. Furthermore, turning the oligarchy into a religious monarchy can lead to devastating consequences in terms of organizational structure. Just less than one day after his selection as the new leader, people of Iran gave him a nickname, the AI Ayatollah, because the regime quickly circulated AI-generated images and videos of him after the decision was announced. Many analysts believe that since Mojtaba was selected to lead the regime in Tehran only 3-4 days ago, it is far too early to rule out the possibility of a peace deal, or to expect any clear sign of capitulation from the Iranian side. Khamenei's son, Mojtaba, has only two main options in front of him. The first option is to follow in his father's footsteps and continue the war against what they call Zionism and the Great Satan, meaning Israel and America, respectively. The second option is to raise the white flag and surrender. It is most likely that the new leader will support continuing the war, at least for the time being. Whether Iranian regime can survive a prolonged war, or endure the consequences of surrender, will determine when and how Iran might capitulate. The fact the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps was among the first institutions to congratulate Mojtaba Khamenei on his selection suggests that he enjoys their strong support and may have been their preferred candidate for the position. By turning the war into a regional war through attacking most of the Arab countries of the Gulf as soon as the war broke out, and then adding Turkey and Azerbaijan to the list of their targets, the IRGC has been showing their determination to continue the war. They regard such a war as a blessing that gives them the chance of suppressing the people and dealing with the influence of the opposition groups. In fact, had it not been for the war, it would have been difficult for them to see their favorite supreme leader candidate to be selected. It is highly likely that the Islamic Republic of Iran could sustain itself if Washington and Tel Aviv are unable to go beyond airstrikes or naval strikes. For this reason, the Kurdish Front, which is a newly announced coalition of the Kurdish political parties in Iran, is increasingly viewed by some observers as a potential factor that could influence the regime's stability, or even accelerate its possible capitulation.